Yeah, I'm happy. My Tar Heels won. We're talking NBA basketball, though, right now. This is how we roll on NBA Wednesday. For only the third time ever, one team in the league is 11-0, while another team has started 0-11. That 0-for team, Memphis. They were 0-8 under Sidney Lowe. They're 0-3 under Hubie Brown. They're 0-6 at home, 0-5 on the road. But the team they're playing tonight, the Sixers, the only team that the Grizzlies swept last year after going 0-9 against them before that. Our Brad Nessler is in Memphis to help call the game. Brad?
We're going to have a brownout in this one, Stu, as we've got Hubie Brown and Larry Brown matched up, and they go a long ways back. I mean, you were in short pants the last time these two guys were getting together. It was way back in the ABA days. Do you remember the first meeting in Louisville, Kentucky, Freedom Hall? Larry's Nuggets, Hubie's Colonels. The NBA opener, the ABA opener rather, in 1974, combining ABA and NBA. No other pair of coaches has ever coached 28 years after coaching each other the first time. That's what we've got going on tonight. The Grizzlies looking for that first win. We'll see if they get it. Back to you, Stu.
All right, Brad, we'll get back out to you in a little bit. We got a bunch of games already underway. For anybody in Boston who laughed at the Nets getting swept by the Lakers in the NBA Finals, you need to put a lid on it, because the Nets got to the finals by waxing Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals, a 6-game series where Jason Kidd averaged a triple-double. Nets and Celtics back again tonight. Nets defense rolling. Jefferson had a block. Antoine Williams a block. Rodney Rogers a block. Jefferson, it's just a block party, man. They put on some old Motown, some Funkadelic, lit up the grill, invited Pookie and them over and had a block party. And then they had a 3-party. Antoine Walker, 3-point shot. Shammond Williams, Tar Heel. Speaking of Tar Heels rolling, 3. Tony Delk, Kentucky, 3. Delk again with the 3. Delk, 18 points, 5 of 6 from 3-point land shooting. Celtics rolling over the Nets. That is our floor cam. Celtics, Grizzlies, and Sixers coming up. Come back with us on NBA Wednesday. We got some hoops coming. I'm going to tell you to let you know. Usually here on Wednesday, we tell you what you need to know, like 3 little tidbits that you got to know before you watch the games. Only thing you need to know before tonight is the Nuggets are bad. And I'm not talking like bad as in good. I'm talking bad as in not real good at all. 4 straight games under 80 points the Nuggets have. If they do it again tonight, it would set an NBA record. 4 straight games under 80 points. Can a brother get some scoring in Denver? Game's already underway. Pacers and Raptors. Jermaine O'Neal with the hook shot. You saw the righty. Jermaine O'Neal didn't play a high school ball, didn't need it. Lefty hook. Raptors, taking over. Morris Peterson won a national championship at Michigan State. Vashawn Leonard. And then Antonio Davis with the dunk. Antonio Davis baseline, bringing down the rim. That's the dunk at the end of the third quarter. Right now, Pacers and Raptors real tight. Fourth quarter, Raptors lead by 1. Pistons lead the Heat 53-44. Other scores going on. Timberwolves are just crushing the Hawks, 71-48. Lakers early start against the Spurs. Remember, opening night, the Spurs beat the Lakers. Lakers need some get-up. Allen Iverson, been an NBA scoring champ 3 times. Said he's scared living in Philly, scared of the police. Don't think he's going to be scared of the Grizzlies on this night. Sixers, Grizzlies.
The Pyramid in Memphis, Tennessee, where tonight the Grizzlies are home to the Philadelphia 76ers. And our NBA Wednesday on ESPN, the Grizzlies looking for their first win of the season. It's been a hound dog of a year so far for the Grizzlies. The fans are all shook up. So are Walton and I. Jerry West brought in Hubie Brown, says we're going to do it my way.
And it's time to rock, and Hubie has certainly rocked things. Now, they haven't got the victory yet, but they're playing so much better. If they could only get that one key defensive stop and rebound, they would be a lot better off. That has been a major problem for the Grizzlies.
Last night they lost in overtime to Minnesota, but they played so much better. These two guys got together 28 years ago for the first time when they were both coaching in the ABA. Here they are tonight, Larry Brown and Hubie Brown. Old friends and set to have at it tonight. And here's the Bud Light starting lineups. For the 76ers, McKee, McCulloch, and Van Horn up front against the Grizzlies. Gooden, who's maybe on his way to Rookie of the Year, Stromile, Swift, and Pau Gasol. In the backcourt, Allen Iverson and Eric Snow. And for the Grizzlies, Jason Williams and Gordon Yarasek. We're almost set for action from Memphis.
Larry Brown telling us the key matchups, trying to slow down Gasol and Gooden. And you've got Aaron McKee playing the small forward because of the injury to Monty Williams has kept him out all season. Very difficult matchup at the small forward position.
Here's Gasol down low over Van Horn. Rebound comes off to Allen Iverson. Iverson coming off a 38-point night, his season high last night in a loss to New Orleans. McCulloch underneath. Shot was blocked by Swift.
Todd McCulloch doesn't play that many minutes, starts, often gets in early foul trouble. A quick, explosive move to the hoop. Did I just say that about Todd McCulloch?
quick
explosive move?
I didn't know they could go hand in hand. Larry Brown told you before the game he gets in foul trouble in warm-ups talking about McCulloch. I like that.
Give me that bobblehead back. Baseline out of bounds. Zone defense. Most teams employing that now and taking advantage of the new rules.
Grizzlies using a lot of zone in the normal flow of things as well. 6 on the shot clock. McCulloch. Here's Van Horn. He's going to have to work it for the shot underneath. Shot was blocked by Gasol. Here's Williams on the other end, letting fly with a 3. And Powell went up, lost it off his foot. Hubie Brown 0-3 since taking over the reins. His last win as an NBA coach in '86.
What an emotional interview we had with him today. It was just so inspirational.
And foul on a 3 is Gooden. Got McKee.
Why would you foul a guy shooting from that far out? Neither team has done anything offensively.
Drew knows that's, I don't know if that's a rookie mistake or just plain a mistake. So many young guys on the Memphis team.
Never foul a jump shooter. Hubie Brown, to watch him work in practice today. The maestro. The professor.
He's already got the coach's voice back. Can barely talk after screaming 3 nights in a row and 4 other practices.
Hubie is 69 years old. I was concerned about his health, but then he told us that he's in fantastic shape, swimming every day, at least a half a mile, playing tennis 3 times a week. Nice pass.
Gooden inside. Williams with the dish. Didn't have an assist last night. That's almost unheard of for a guy playing the point. In fact, you have to go back to April of 2000, the last time he played a game without an assist. But he played very well despite that. But he's got his first one tonight. There's a nice dish inside of McCulloch.
One of the things about getting assists, guys have got to make shots. And the shots that Memphis is getting are not good looks. Oh, nice screen by Van Horn. And then down the lane, the inability to cut down that penetration just allows Todd McCulloch to get wide open. Where is the defensive rotation?
McCulloch at the free throw line. Caps the 3-point play. So the Sixers out in front by 3.
Nice passing again, Jason Williams.
Outside jumper won't go. Good. Nice tip back out to Williams. He'll try the other side. Same result.
Not a good rotation on that jumper by Giracek. Hubie Brown up and down the sideline, talking to his players, constantly teaching them. A lot of talent on this squad. They've yet to identify a real superstar, a go-to guy, a closer, a finisher, or a defensive stopper.
McKee dishes inside again to McCulloch.
Where is the defensive capabilities on the perimeter? Aaron McKee, Eric Stone, and Allen Iverson hadn't even started to get to the hoop.
McCulloch with 5, and so is the lead. Gasol lost it going up, his second turnover. McKee's got Snow out in front. And now Iverson going to work. Van Horn wants it down low, gets it with the left hand.
Stromile Swift counting too much on his extreme athleticism. Hubie Brown has seen enough. He needs desperately a timeout. The defense has just been atrocious for Memphis. Unacceptable for Hubie Brown.
7-0 Philadelphia run, and they lead by 7, 9-2 with 9:48 remaining in the first quarter. Allen Iverson has yet to score tonight. Scored 38 last night. And David, I know you spent a lot of time with him before the ball game.
That's right, Brad. You know, Allen Iverson wanted to make it very clear the things that he said to the Philadelphia Daily News and the Inquirer the other day about police in Philadelphia. He says that he does not have a problem with all cops, that he does think that there are some police in Philadelphia that have it in for him, but that some of his friends are cops on the Philly police force. And as he put it, who do you think I'm going to call when I get in trouble or when my family's in trouble? Who do you think I'm going to call? So he knows that you know, his relationship with police is very good in a lot of places. He did say he feels a little paranoid sometimes about some of the things that go on. But as you saw there, doesn't hate all cops.
David, as a follow-up to that, from my own personal experience, I have learned that the older you get, the more you realize that the police are your friends. And I can't, though, on the other hand, buy into any NBA player who tries to paint themselves as a victim. Allen Iverson, 27 years old now, growing up before our eyes.
Allen's quote was, "I want to be in Philadelphia, but I'm scared to be here. I've heard about police officers toasting to Allen Iverson's next felony conviction. I'm hearing about them saying I'm involved with one thing or another, and it scares me. I don't know if there's a crooked cop out there. They could do anything to me. He could do anything." But those are some of the comments that David's talking about. Stromile Swift on a follow, and did he get airborne?
Jason Williams is playing a beautiful basketball game. And I'd like to apologize to Jason Williams because I didn't think this was going to work. And I've said on the air that I didn't think the marriage between West Hubie Brown and Jason Williams would work. But it has, and they both pointed out to me that Jason has been their most attentive pupil since Hubie took over.
And almost has taken the leadership role that you wouldn't expect, I guess. 11-4 with 9 minutes to go. First quarter. Swift scored last trip down, not this time, but a nice reverse follow by Gooden.
When you're playing against a guy like Todd McCulloch, who doesn't have great lateral mobility, not a shot blocker, go one way, come to a stop, reverse pivot, and get in the air for your jump hook. There's no way he can recover to make any kind of defensive impact on the play.
You're saying he can only be explosive on offense then, right? Snow in the paint.
Quick and explosive.
And he'll be shaking his head.
Todd is a very skilled player. He is just not the type of guy you associate with the throw it down in your face culture that we live in.
Garicek still can't find the jumper. McKee. Iverson. A kick out. He's been content to pass. Hasn't scored so far.
Where's the rebounding? Memphis is the worst defensive team in the NBA, and we're seeing why.
They're having trouble in that department, no doubt about it.
Outstanding post-entry pass, but Todd McCulloch comes, looks like he gets a lot of wrist there, and from the floor cam, we can see just how high is high and the quick explosiveness of Todd McCulloch. An incredible angle, representative of how unique these world-class athletes are.
Snow with 3, and Brian Skinner checks into the lineup.
I didn't know that this trade was going to work when they sent Mutombo over, who I've become a huge fan of, although Dikembe is not playing that well.
Well, we saw him last week, and he's definitely struggling with that system.
But Philadelphia,
so far,
Philadelphia has a chance to go into first place tonight.
Garicek rimmed out another one.
Boston is killing New Jersey.
Swift underneath, and he drew a foul.
I've been extremely impressed with the ball movement of the offensive end. The finishing capability is another thing. Larry Brown not happy. Hubie Brown up off that bench. It's very difficult physically to be an NBA head coach. You're on your feet, you're up and down, you're pacing back and forth. The stress Hubie talking about today is 16 years not caring
Right.
who won or lost the game.
And as he said to us, he said, you know, he hadn't lost a game in 16 years. He'd been an analyst sitting where you are. 5,826 days between coaching gigs. But obviously around the game that whole time.
So you have the calculator that Stuart Scott desperately needs. Now I know what's going on here.
There you go.
I admit I'm a slow learner, Brad, but in week 4 I'm trying to pick things up.
All Stu was worried about were the Tar Heels that preceded us. Here's McCulloch again going strong to the hoop, and Swift with a block. Van Horn picked up the loose ball. Now it's Williams out of the pack. 3-on-3. Give and go. Gasol.
Shane Battier enjoying the fast break as the defense from Stromile Swift comes over the top to ignite the fast break. How about the hands of Pau Gasol, who just can't seem to stick a fork in it? Hubie telling us that he's got that heavily taped and bandaged left wrist. But the floor cam shot shows just how graceful, how elegant Pau Gasol can be at well over 7 feet tall. The reigning Rookie of the Year in the NBA.
Injured that wrist and thumb area in the World Championships in Indianapolis, and is wearing, as you see, the wrist brace around the thumb.
But this is a much smaller wrist brace tonight than he's been wearing. Been much bulkier, and Hubie has claimed that it's really affected his game and his inability to hold on to the ball.
Hard to take a pass as well. Giricek on a fade. He's going to keep trying until he gets it right. And all of a sudden they cut the lead down to 2. So a nice little run by the Grizzlies at home.
He'll zone defense here, something that Hubie Brown has brought to the team. It's been very effective.
Van Horn, long range, got it.
The problem with the zone generally, though, is that it takes away accountability, which is something that Hubie Brown is desperately trying to. Oh, over the top.
And there's a good example of what you said, although that wasn't the greatest pass in the world. He had a hard time handling it.
I like the pass. Throw that one down.
Well, his hands got to be bothering him then. That's a third turnover against Memphis, but they have fought their way back into the game here early in the quarter. 6:16 remaining in the first. Sixers on the road, leading by 4.
It's Kevin Garnett rocking the rim, 11.7 boards in the first half. And then Troy Hudson was just stroking it. Troy himself had 12 points, all 12 of his points in the first quarter. Didn't let up. Minnesota outscored the Hawks 33-12 in the second quarter, guys. Looks like Hawks are getting ripped.
Garnett, who had a huge night last night in the win over the Grizzlies. As you look at Jerry West, president of the Grizzlies, he's had a busy day. We saw him at the shoot-around earlier this morning. He was checking out floor cam. We had to clean it right after he did that with his finger, and then wanted to make sure it could take a good bounce. And then talking with Derek Coleman in the locker room, came in, said hi to Larry Brown while we were talking to the coach. And
Gene Bartow, Gary Colson, a couple of longtime basketball men who were involved with the Grizzlies here. Jerry West just done a remarkable job changing the entire atmosphere of this franchise. And that's the hardest thing to do when the losses pile up over the years. Remember, last year they had the greatest year in franchise history
23
with 23 wins.
Well, you asked him today, you know, what do you see as the future, or how far down the line is the future as far as being competitive? And you look at the talent, the potential talent they have and how young they are. I mean, this is a team you'd love to be around if you could keep them all together in a couple of years, or maybe sooner.
I like their talent. I was surprised that they haven't got off to a much better start.
Yeah.
Terrible
Iverson hasn't taken a shot yet, and the one he took got stuffed by Swift.
Boy, the transition defense for Memphis is just atrocious.
Williams. McCulloch clears off the miss.
Somebody's got to match up with Iverson.
And he's going to take the long one.
Giricek is backing up and waiting for him at the foul line.
Skinner, and Swift got another one. Swift with 4 blocks in the first quarter. Iverson, Giricek got around him, and now Gooden from the elbow. Got it.
Todd McCulloch is having an impressive defensive game
Yeah,
here. He has shut down the basket area, and that is remarkable as now Memphis drops back into their 1-2-2 zone.
And they've cut the Sixers lead down to 2. Again, Iverson's had one shot blocked and missed a 3 the last trip down court. And Swift, who's playing monster defense, almost came up with a steal.
Allen Iverson in transition. Nobody matches up with him. The guy's the 3rd leading scorer in the NBA. You would think that he would draw some bit of attention. Fortunately, Stromile Swift has been watching videotape of Bill Russell and how to block some shots out there. He's just everywhere, Stromile. Excuse me. I'm going to name my next kid Stromile.
He's got 4 of the 5 block shots already.
What is the NBA record for most blocks in a quarter on a Wednesday night in Memphis?
Oh, boy. You got that one narrowed down for me. Iverson. Again, he missed a 3. McCulloch underneath, and Gooden got too much of that one.
This is the major problem for Memphis. They just cannot make a stop. They cannot get a defensive rebound. There's no inside physical presence there. Now, Gasol, he's got to get into that weight room. Gooden has got to adjust to the NBA. Just a rookie, 3 weeks into his season. Stromile Swift got a lot of work ahead of him. Fortunately, the leadership is in place now.
Wow, what a nice shot on the fade by Gooden as Coleman came at him, and Drew Gooden just backed up. And he's got 8. He's 4 out of 5 from the floor.
They're just playing total zone defense right now. Just packing it in, challenging Philadelphia. Not a noted outside shooting team to pull the trigger.
This guy can pull the trigger with the best of them. His first basket. That's one thing about the zone. He can maybe shoot you out of a game, but he can shoot you right through one, too.
What a game it was last night down in New Orleans. Mashburn and Iverson. Straight to ESPN Classic with 12 fourth-quarter lead changes coming back from 22 down.
And Iverson had a chance to win that one near the end and didn't. NBA shoot-around starts things off on Friday. Then the Raptors and Sixers at 8. The Clippers and the Nuggets at 10:30. That's our twin bill on NBA Friday on ESPN. We got a timeout. 3 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And the Grizzlies and the Sixers tangling here in Memphis and Philadelphia on the road.
Pacers Raptors tied at 92 late in the game. Jamal Tinsley dropping it. That gives them a lead. Raptors get a chance, so they get a steal late in the game. 20 seconds left. One shot. Antonio Davis open look, can't go. First 8-game winning streak for the Pacers since the 93-94 season. Guys, Indy might be one of those East sleepers.
This is a special team, the Indiana Pacers. Isaiah Thomas, Donnie Walsh, David Kahn have done a remarkable job of rebuilding on the fly. It wasn't that long ago they were in the NBA Finals. They have a totally new team. Reggie hasn't even played this year. And they're one of the best teams, and everybody's just raving about their talent. Ron Artest, magical. You've got Brad Miller playing all-star level basketball in the middle. I didn't think that trade was going to work when they gave up on Jalen Rose and Travis Best, but in your face, Walton.
5-point lead here for the Sixers. Iverson the lead underneath for McCulloch. He missed in close, and Swift will clear it off.
If you're going to play zone defense, you can't give up that kind of penetration.
And Gasol did catch that one, kept it alive anyway, and got a 3 from Person off the bench.
To hear Jerry West and Wesley Person rave about, excuse me, to hear Jerry West and Hubie Brown rave about Wesley Person, the veteran, the guy who knows how to play, where to go, how to space the floor. What a pickup in the offseason.
Hubie was saying today, some of these guys, I tell them, and they have a blank look on their face. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. Iverson on the miss. Person clears it ahead to Williams. Chance to tie or lead if that goes. 3 just off the mark, and Derek Coleman with a rebound.
I think Jason Williams should try to penetrate more. Don't settle for just coming up and making simple passes. Don't take the flair out of your game. Be who you are.
Person on Iverson.
Nice defense.
Trying to dish it inside to Van Horn, off his hands and out of bounds.
Defense. Stromile, Swift sending it all back. The slow delivery. Come on, you got to wake up and pick up the speed, Todd McCulloch. You can't just lay it up there. Guys can jump in this league. Allen Iverson thinks he's wide open, but the range, the athleticism, the hops of Stromile Swift.
4 rebounds to go with those 4 block shots.
I would say that Strohmeyer is the greatest shot blocker in the history of Louisiana, but that just wouldn't be true.
I think there's another guy. He finished second to the guy you're talking about in his career at LSU. Anyway. He did finish second to Shaq in block shots in LSU.
I'm talking about guys who are from LSU, I mean, from Louisiana. Isn't Strohmeyer from Louisiana?
I was thinking that we were talking about playing at LSU, and then that would be
about Bill Russell, Elvin Hayes, Robert Parrish, Bob Pettit.
Well, now you're going to have to look all that up yourself.
Okay. I didn't think I was working alone here tonight. Earl Watson, the UCLA magician, in the ball game.
Right back and in. Good move.
Just took it right to Brian Skinner, who's playing very, very well for Larry Brown. Nothing but zone defense for Hubie Brown.
First tie of the ball game with 2 minutes left in the quarter. Iverson almost took it over Battier and threw it away. Person trying to get it inside. Did the second time. Batiste and the Grizzlies lead.
Wesley Person is playing at a different pace than almost everybody else in this game, and Mike Batiste, just his 7th game now after a slow start, didn't get much looks under Sidney Lowe. Hubie Brown has found out what a real player he is. Mike Batiste out of Arizona State.
In the paint, Skinner. And he's fouled.
The rebound off of the lost play by Wesley Person, who gets it right back. That was a Charles Barkley, Moses Malone play where you throw it off the board yourself, knowing that everybody thinks it's going to be a shot and they're turning for a rebound where you're really passing it to yourself, and Hubie coaching him the whole way.
Skinner got them both.
And all the people that thought Hubie was just the old curmudgeon, the dinosaur. When are they bringing this extinct creature back? He's coached every single game he's broadcast and watched in those 16 years.
Skinner stole it from Batiste and scored. So Skinner's got the last 4 for the Sixers to give them the lead back.
Nice double team by Skinner.
Battier pull-up jumper off the glass, a little too strong.
Battier coming off the best game of the season for him last night. Not statistically, but just the impact on the game as they went to overtime in the tough loss at Minnesota.
Person's trying to stay with Iverson. And that leaves Buckner wide open. Missed the long-range jumper.
A key acquisition in the offseason, Greg Buckner, but not a good-looking shot that time. Larry Brown wants him to shoot more. Been a reluctant shooter. Surprised to hear that from a guy who used to play for Don Nelson in Dallas.
That shot partially blocked by Skinner.
Skinner has been everywhere. Now, he runs the floor, he blocks the shot. They're going to pull it out, come to him, but instead they're going to isolate for Allen Iverson in the last shot of the quarter.
Working against Watson up in the air in the lane. Skinner got it back. Maybe he'll still get a chance.
What more can he do? He blocks shots, gets rebounds, working on the offensive end. I can't believe Iverson didn't get called for an offensive foul on the left arm clear out.
And a 1. Hubie Brown still looking for his elusive first win as a head man of the Grizzlies, and he's been working it through the first 12 minutes.
The pain of the coach.
He's got him in it. 26-24 Philadelphia. Set to start the second quarter at the Pyramid in Memphis. 76ers leading by 2. Actually, Memphis came back to grab their only lead of the ball game moments ago, 24-22, but the Sixers have pulled in front now as we get set for the start of the second quarter. It was tats for ticks night. You have to be careful how you say that.
What was that?
Tats for ticks. Tattoos for tickets night here at the Pyramid. If you came in, showed that you had tattoos, and some guys had a lot more than others and some were a lot smaller than others, but still it would get you tickets to a future game. So everybody with a little ink working that came to the game tonight, there you go. You're all set up for the next game. Now, Between Allen Iverson and Jason Williams, I would think they'd get season tickets probably between these two guys.
Lifetime passes.
Yeah, lifetime passes, right. We thought maybe you were gonna show yours.
I don't have any tattoos.
Oh, you don't have any
sorry.
tattoos?
No. And you? This is a question. This is a deposition. Tattoos.
I don't think
Yes.
I don't think I can get the clothing loosened enough to show you where they are. Maybe later. That's in the second half.
I'll pass.
Probably a good choice. Allen Iverson only 3 points in that first quarter.
Tough pass out of the post by Skinner. Good hands by Aaron McKee.
4 on the shot clock. McKee's got to hurry.
Nice defense, Earl Watson. Run the floor, big man. The Memphis point guards have played very conservatively tonight.
Inside hook won't go for Wright.
Battier has not found the game's rhythm yet. Been totally away from the ball on every possession. He's too good a player.
Talked to him before the game. I said, Shane, you would think you'd be the perfect guy. Great move by Iverson. Said to Battier, I would think you would be the perfect guy for Hubie Brown. Fundamentally about as complete in college as you can get. Works hard on defense. Here's a steal. 76ers with Buckner.
The players on this team who have already played for great coaches in their life, something that changes their lives forever. Shane Battier, Krzyzewski at Duke, Drew Gooden, Roy Williams at Kansas. It's so very unique to have that opportunity, and they will appreciate Hubie Brown from the moment he gets here. The other guys, they'll grow to love him.
Battier missed that shot as Coleman got a piece of it. Iverson on a fade, got it.
He's starting to heat up. Time to take the ball out of his hands. They got to start running at him when he's dribbling.
He was 1 for 6 in the first quarter, and he's hit the last 2 trips down the floor. 8-0 Philadelphia run.
Come from Greg Buckner. Come from Derek Coleman. Come from Skinner. Stay home on Aaron McKee.
Wright. Nice drive inside. Didn't finish. Drew a foul from Coleman, though. That'll be Coleman's second. Allen Iverson, Pau Gasol, Keith Van Horn, Shane Battier. Which players will be all-stars? Should log on to NBA.com and cast your ballot for the 2003 NBA All-Star Game.
Which will be held in Atlanta.
In Atlanta.
Hubie Brown brought in a number of new assistant coaches. There's his son, Brendan Brown, on our right, Hubie's left. Brendan was already with the franchise and has been here for a few years. And that's an outstanding basketball man.
It's been an advanced scout the past couple years.
And so Hubie, because of his familiarity with the league as a broadcaster for all those years, and then with his son working with the Grizzlies, was already completely tuned in to the Grizzly personnel.
Coleman trying to get right off his back and doesn't. Big collision inside between Battier and Skinner.
We've seen good defensive stands by Lorenzen Wright, by Wesley Person. They're staying down on pump fakes. They're not giving guys the credit they don't deserve or haven't earned. Larry Brown desperately trying to get the guys on the same page. As a violent collision high above the rim.
Foul on Skinner is his first. So on the floor for Memphis right now, Batiste is in there with Watson. Williams is on the bench. Person, who has lit it up a little bit on both ends of the court since he came in. Lorenzen Wright and Shane Battier.
But look at Philadelphia. Such an emotional, draining loss last night. Right up in the face. Full on, full court press. That's great coaching, great leadership on and off the court.
Person missed the shot. Sixers looking to run. McKee lobs for Coleman. Tough catch. And goes up strong. And he's fouled.
Aaron McKee should never make that pass to Derek Coleman. Derek Coleman, he just played one game, coming back from the offseason knee injury. You got to know your personnel. Larry Brown doesn't want Derek Coleman jumping up above the rim. He's not capable of doing that. He's 35 years old.
I was going to say maybe 11 years ago you could throw that one, right? Coleman in his 13th season.
Coleman played very well last night. 17 minutes, 3 for 6, had a major impact on the game. Helped bring the Sixers back from the abyss.
9 points and 5 boards last night.
And with the way the NBA is changing and getting rid of the big stiffs, you're going to see Derek Coleman playing a lot of center this year. The game is getting quicker, faster, more athletic. The big guys who can't play are getting put to the bench. Everybody's going to zone defenses now.
Here's Person wide open. And Skinner will clear off the miss.
Transition defense.
Buckner made a tough catch. Coleman spot up three. Kind of slipped off his hand, I think. And here come the Grizzlies.
That's not Larry Brown's idea of how the game should be played.
Grizzlies have missed their last 7 shots.
They don't have the go-to guy.
They keep trying different ones, and the same result. Shooting's getting worse.
But they've got 10 players here. And Hubie Brown told us that this is an evaluation period. They've only played 3 games together.
Well, last night they had 7 guys in double figures. The only problem is the top scorer was 14, so they spread it around pretty well.
Where are the guards? Where are the guards cutting the foul line for that ball that gets tipped out? Hubie Brown cannot believe it.
So the lead swells to 9. That matches the biggest advantage so far tonight for Philadelphia.
They took Gooden, Gasol, and Jason Williams out, and it has not been the same team. The second squad has not been able to get it done. Traveling violation. Happy feet by Lorenzen Wright.
So no field goals in about 5 minutes for Memphis. They turn it over again, and 8:29 remaining in the half. They find themselves trailing the Sixers by 9.
Lakers and Spurs. Kobe's averaged 30.8 points a game the last 8 against the Spurs. Right at it at halftime, 15 points. But still, San Antonio leads the Lakers by 4 at the break. David Aldridge back in Memphis with more in L.A.
I'm sorry.
Stu, you know the deal with Shaquille O'Neal is this. They're trying to get him to practice tomorrow in Los Angeles when they get back from their 2-game Texas road trip. Now, there's still some swelling in the area underneath his toe where it was surgically repaired. But they know they have to get him some kind of work. They want to see how he goes through a full practice. He wants to play Friday in Chicago. They'd love to have him there. They need him, obviously, as everybody knows. They're having a lot of trouble scoring and shooting without him. The numbers don't lie. As you can see, Kobe's numbers are up, but the team's overall field goal percentage way down. They're shooting 38.6% without Shaq in the lineup. That happens when your guys who shoot three-pointers all of a sudden have to shoot contested shots.
Getting him back, David, is one thing. Keeping him back is the key. Getting him to the point where he can play every single day, where he can become the most valuable player once again. It's a young man's game. About running up and down. We see these incredible athletes pounding up and down time and time again. When your feet are burning, that's a tough way to play. We can only hope it goes well for the big guy.
As I mentioned, going to the break, no field goals in 5 minutes plus.
Get a rebound, please.
They can't buy one, can they?
Well, the 3 rules of rebounding are: anticipate every shot will be missed, get your hands up above your shoulders, and go get the ball. Mike Batiste, a very skilled and fundamentally sound player, learning from Rob Evans at ASU, just couldn't figure it out at all. Nice pass, Person.
Watson's open. Got it. Earl's first basket. And finally, took 5 minutes and 42 seconds to get a field goal for the Grizzlies.
But it was the gambling defense by Philadelphia that created that lone opportunity. Stay at home and nothing happens for the Grizz.
Iverson backpedals over Person, and the net didn't even move. 6 this quarter, 9 for the game.
And that's the difference in the two teams, is that they got a guy in Allen Iverson who can create by himself, who has to be double teamed when he gets going.
And he has gotten going in this quarter.
They're trying to post up Person. Iverson does a good job of forcing him behind the board.
Person kicks out to Battier, and now Watson. They work it around. Finally get a shot just before the shot clock expires. Batiste missed it from the outside. Buckner had it stolen by Wright.
Oh,
and then he hacks Wright.
Gracious. They're calling a flagrant foul. Eric Snow is right there arguing in the referee's face. Referee Tony Brothers right on top of that call.
Tomorrow night on TNT, doubleheader. Houston will be at Dallas, undefeated Mavericks. Portland at Seattle at 10. Then Friday night on ESPN, Toronto against these Sixers in Philadelphia. And the Clippers will be at Denver in the nightcap. NBA on TV this week. So the flagrant foul that Bill was talking about sends Lorenzen Wright to the free throw line, where he's perfect tonight, 3 for 3.
Blazers playing a red-hot Orlando team that won at Seattle in a surprising victory. Seattle's been playing terrific ball.
Here was the foul as Wright went to the hoop. Buckner upset by having the ball stolen, and Oz takes one for the team down there. He takes a charge, our camera guy.
Well, that has to
takes it on the baseline.
Foul. I hope Oz is okay.
He's okay. He's smiling down there.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Should we send him something to drink?
He's all bent over down there, but he's got that thing on wheels, so he's all right. Battier, his first basket.
I think we should send some of the cheerleaders over to give him something to drink, maybe rub his neck and back a little bit.
Iverson was open just for a moment. Creates his own opening, but he missed this one. Jason Williams finally back in there.
Get aggressive, Jason. Attack the hoop. Nice penetration and dish.
Gasol, he does likewise, had it blocked, but he's fouled by Mark Bryant.
Hubie is over there applauding the play, and it's a good play to get to the foul line, something this team desperately needs to do. But when you penetrate and dish and you're this wide open, you got to pull the trigger from out there. You're just killing your initial offense. Gasol, not a strong finisher at this point in his career. Keith Van Horn set to come back into the lineup after a very long rest. Greg Buckner to the bench after the flagrant foul, which in his defense, it looked like he got raked across the arm. And in that situation, players tell themselves, well, if that's not a foul, how could this be a foul? And they really test the referee's limits. Let's go over to David Aldridge.
David, you talked to Gasol, and you and I both did today, about his role right now with the Grizzlies.
Yeah, he doesn't think he has one, Brad. I mean, he's not happy right now. You know, some guys are very happy. Gooden's very happy, and Jason Williams is very happy. Part of that's because Hubie Brown's running a lot of their plays. Paul Gasol said there is not one play in this system that's for him right now. Last year, Sid Lowe gave him a lot of looks down low. This year, under Hubie Brown, not happening so far.
But in that situation, David, you got to realize that players make plays. Plays don't make players. Go get it off the glass. Get it in transition. Make it happen defensively. Yep. Command the ball. Call for it. Don't wait for the coach to create something for you.
Bill, you're exactly right. One of the things that the Grizzlies say is, hey, you can help yourself by going and hitting the glass and getting some defensive rebounds. They were not happy with his performance against Kevin Garnett in Minnesota last night. That game was there to be had, but Garnett cleaned up on the glass, especially on the offensive boards down the stretch.
Got a timeout with 5:54 remaining in the half from Floor Cam. You get a look here from the Pyramid, and the Grizzlies trying to battle back in it, but they trail the 76ers 41-33.
Wallace also at 12 points and 19 boards, second career triple-double. Oh, I got to see that dunk again. Just cleaning the glass. Seventh triple-double in the NBA. And Bill Walton, Ben could have played in any era, huh?
Ben Wallace is an outstanding example of what hard work, discipline, dedication, and a passion for the game will do for you. Now, Miami, which had the big victory last night in Milwaukee, boy, they're really playing well, the Bucks. But Miami now has to come over and play a rested Detroit team that plays a game, a style that is reflective of that city's work ethic. And Rick Carlisle has done a magnificent job.
During that last time out, Larry Brown with his comments to his team.
We're defending okay, but we can't give up second shots. We got to really concentrate on that.
They haven't given up many.
That is actually the weakness of the Memphis Grizzlies, is giving up second shots.
They're worst in the NBA in that category. Second worst.
When you're down that low, it doesn't make much difference.
That's
Brad.
true. When you're 28th, 29th, whatever. Swift started strong in this game defensively with 4 block shots and 4 rebounds, but he missed both free throws. Person can make up with it from there.
Beautiful job, Gasol. That's the kind of thing that'll get him into a rhythm, into a situation where somebody will call his play.
That was a second chance shot. Snow inside. And a whistle and a foul.
A lot of late whistles tonight. It's as if the referees are sitting there waiting to see if the ball goes into the basket before they blow the whistle to stop play. Unable to stop the slice cut. Jason Williams is bailed out by Gasol above the rim. And the elbow to the face by Stromile.
So Snow, 4 points so far tonight.
How many other people you know named Stromile?
That's it.
You don't
It's
have
the only
Uncle
one.
Stromile?
I have no Stromiles in my family. That's the only one I know. You?
I've got plenty of friends named Stromile.
I got to meet someone.
I'll introduce you to him at the hotel after the game.
Can they block shots? That's a question.
Not like that.
5:20 left in the half. 7-point Philadelphia lead. Gooden looking for a pick from Gasol. And then went through double team traffic and took that shot.
That's a tough shot. That's not going down unless you're totally in the zone or named Michael Jordan.
That was a little bit of a train wreck trying to set up that pick and roll to start with, and then he tried to go through 2 defenders.
Or Kobe Bryant or Tracy McGrady.
Hey, he's got another one. That's 5. Williams, good look.
Beautiful.
That's better, huh?
How? Throw it down in it. Oh, Jason Williams almost had the turnover. I like it when teams get up and press in the backcourt. You look at that Memphis Grizzlies bench. But the block shot by Stromile Swift, too slow on the delivery. Never execute the shot you just faked.
Van Horn trying to turn on Gooden. And a foul. Well, the block shot by Swift is what started everything to get it going the Grizzlies' way. And then Williams with a feed and kapow.
That is an impressive feat in transition up the court. Jason Williams, that ball is an extension of his mind. He is playing beautiful basketball. I'd like to see him be more aggressive, though, and try more things. You can't just be passive out there.
He had a long stretch on the bench. We thought he played well early. Was that a message being sent by Hubie or just a rest period?
No, Hubie's looking at all the players he has. He didn't have the 30 days of training camp. He doesn't have the 8 exhibition games. This is just, he's been here less than a week.
Now that's what might find him a spot on the bench. Taking the long shot and then picking up the cheap foul.
We talked about pressing in the backcourt. You look at that Memphis bench. They got one of the assistant coaches, Lionel Hollins, back with the team now after a year off.
Old teammate of yours, right?
Just incredible at that. He and Johnny Davis on that old Portland team were just phenomenal at pressing in the backcourt. How's that not a traveling violation? Hubie Brown up in the referee's face saying, Gary Zielinski, what are you watching out here?
Iverson with a steal, trying to spin his way across midcourt, and Williams has 3 fouls, and we're going to see Watson pretty darn quickly, I would imagine.
Well, they're still playing without Brevin Knight, the Memphis Grizzlies. Things have fallen apart a bit for Memphis as their offense has disappeared. Allen Iverson, a great defensive player. Not an individual on the ball defender, but anticipation, stealing, playing away from the ball.
And here comes Watson in for Williams.
Brevin Knight sitting on the bench. Missed. This is now his 5th game. Sprained his ankle. Landed on somebody in the Denver game 10 days ago. Hasn't been able to go yet. They thought he might be able to play tonight, but obviously the pregame warm-ups did not go well for him. He's still in street clothes.
Allen Iverson now 11 points, and he has 8 rebounds. 8 points this quarter, excuse me.
Give it to him when he rolls into the post like that.
Jiricek picked up by Snow. 4 on the shot clock. Gasol against Skinner. Skinner clears it ahead to Iverson. Over Watson. And Watson may have gotten a piece of it. Swift got another one. He's got 6 block shots. We might have another guy with a triple-double tonight if he keeps playing this way.
If Stromile Swift played against Todd McCulloch every game, he'd lead the NBA in block shots.
He's doing a heck of a job here in the first half.
Todd McCulloch has got to deliver the ball faster or give him a pump fake and roll back the other way. He's too good a player to get rejected and packed like that time and time again.
Here he is offensively. Trying a second chance. Didn't get either. And a foul before Gooden could go back up
A lot of wild plays for Memphis. They have to learn to not mistake activity for achievement. Hubie Brown is up off the bench right in Tony Brothers' face. Asking, begging, pleading for some consistency. What is going on here right now? It's all Philadelphia. And all Hubie Brown can do is look at the referees and saying, what about a little bit of fairness? Allen Iverson, though, has just been magnificent in every aspect. Shooting, passing, throw it down, big man.
AG against Big Dog. Nicknames only, you got to see that. And Ben Wallace does something in a certain way that spells domination. What do you think that is? And Celtics role players playing huge roles like Tony Battie, working the offensive glass, straight ripping it down. How about those Celtics? Bill Walton used to wear that green.
Celtics with a commanding performance tonight, Stuart. How many players do they have on the Celtics from North Carolina? I guess Stuart went to the bathroom. I don't know.
Coming up Friday night at 7, Owens Corning preseason NIT continues. Coach Roy Williams leads number 2 Kansas against UNC Greensboro Spartan. The Owens Corning preseason NIT Friday night 7 on ESPN2.
Guy Heinrich for Kansas and Collison terrific, but it's been the Allen Iverson show here as they've extended to a 9-point lead. Movement without the ball, always a trademark of Larry Brown teams. The quick trigger, deadly from behind the arc, penetration down the lane. Been non-existent defense on the guards for Memphis. Playing the defense. Look how he stays low and forces Wesley Person behind the backboard. And Allen Iverson was at Georgetown the 2 years he was there. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year in the Big East tournament. This guy's got the complete package.
Speaking of Kansas in the preseason NIT, Drew Gooden talked to him today about his old teammates. He watched last night as they won in round 1. He the Player of the Year in the Big 12. Missed the second shot. Led Kansas to the Final Four last year. He's going to be a good one.
We've talked about Jason Williams and the adjustments that he's made since Hubie came on board. Larry Brown was saying Allen Iverson has been that way, right on the same page all season long. The problems that Allen Iverson has had, that Jason Williams has had. And I had a chance to ask Hubie this afternoon about Jason Williams.
He's like you. He asks 100 questions a day, okay? And you know what? Not one is not a critical basketball question about what you're doing. He has an excellent basketball mind. And he's working hard to keep it all together with all of these guys going to the wrong places and that, and then he having to solve the problem to get us into something good. Because it's not exhibition, the games are real. Very happy. Jason, terrific at both ends of the floor.
It's very interesting to hear Hubie and Jerry West rave about the basketball intelligence of Jason Williams and how he just always seems to know what to do, the inquisitive mind, the historical appreciation that he has for the game.
While he sits on the bench. Giracek missed outside. Swift inside. Gasol battled for that rebound.
Sir Miles Swift's got a lot of work ahead of him. He's got the physical package, but wow.
Giracek's having a terrible night from the floor. Iverson on the run. Oh, and he took one in the shoulder on the way through the lane.
Jerry West looking on. He has to sit so far away. The tension, the pressure. Jerry lived in a hotel for 3 months before finally moving into a beautiful home here.
What do you say, he had 7 acres in his new place? Something like that. Iverson's had a big quarter.
The beautiful thing
11 points
about Jerry West, excuse me, I'm the one that keeps jumping in on you, is that there's not going to be any more mistakes with this franchise. There's not going to be more trading of Steve Francis. There's not going to be more trading away Mike Bibby or Sharif Abdur-Rahim. There's not going to be giving away the #1 draft choice for a 35-year-old Otis Thorpe. They're not going to be giving away huge contracts to guys that can't play, who don't want to play. Big country.
Guys that are building farms in Oklahoma.
Ike Austin. Ouch.
Iverson back to the line. Kind of talked that one in. 6 out of 7 from the stripe for Iverson.
Iverson gets to the line. You look at the NBA guys who dominate at the free throw line. Shaq, Stackhouse, Iverson. Every game, 10 free throws. Memphis, unfortunately, has missed their last 8 shots. They've fallen behind by 13.
Biggest lead of the night. Backdoor cut by Gasol, and he's fouled by McCulloch on the baseline.
But you look at the nucleus here for Memphis. All these high lottery picks that they've had, and still have as the nucleus of the future for this team. Drew Gooden at the 4th spot. Gasol at the 2nd spot. Swift at the 2nd spot. Gasol was 3rd, correct?
Right. And they've had the past 2 college players of the year, and this guy was, as you mentioned earlier, the rookie of the year last season.
Pau Gasol has got to read Wilt Chamberlain's book from the 70s. Wilt, just like any other 7-foot black millionaire that lives next door. And Wilt was that person. But after Wilt's first year in the NBA, where he averaged 37 points and 27 boards per game for the entire season, he said, I'm tired of getting pushed around. I'm going to the weight room.
McCulloch, all 280 of him, has had a pretty good first half. He's got 11 points.
Philadelphia's defense has been superior. They have cut down all penetrating angles. That's a very difficult shot for a guy who's having a horrendous night. You wouldn't take that shot if you were in the zone.
He's 1 of 9 right now.
He's playing that well, huh? Nice tip, Eric Snow.
Iverson, that one was tipped also en route. Gooden clears it ahead to Watson.
Look at Iverson hustle back on defense.
Here's there's a good look to Swift.
Finally, something that Hubie Brown can cheer about. Forcing Larry Brown to take a timeout, sensing a little swing in momentum here. Doesn't want to let this nice, comfortable lead that they built up dissipate in the last 49.1 seconds.
Still at 11, 54-43. So Stromile Swift in the first half has 6 points, 6 block shots.
We've talked about the job that they have to do in rebuilding this team. They don't have this year's #1 pick. That went to Detroit in the Otis Thorpe fiasco, unless it is the overall #1 pick. The way things
Anything
are going,
under that.
The way things are going right now, Memphis will be in the lottery. They still, because of the mistakes of the past with salary cap, they're not going to have salary cap space for the next 2 years. They do have a building coming in 2 years. Jerry West says by that time, everything will be totally different around here.
NBA on ESPN Friday night. The Raptors take on Allen Iverson and the Sixers. And Elton Brand and the Clippers will battle the Nuggets. Raptors and the Sixers and the Clippers and Nuggets. Coverage starts 7:30 on Friday with NBA Shoot-Around right here on ESPN.
When is Vince Carter going to start playing again? I want to see Vince on the floor cam. Throw it down.
He might go right off the screen.
Would we be able to see him on the floor cam?
I think so. It'd just be a little dot on the horizon. Final 40 seconds here of the half.
2 for 1 time.
Iverson penetrates. Had it blocked by Gasol. Memphis 4-on-1.
Nice.
Giricek takes it himself. Chance for a 3-point play.
Larry Brown cannot believe it. He's just throwing up his arms in disgust over there. And I don't think at his own players. I think at the referees. The transition offensive situation there for Memphis left Eric Snow out to dry. Looked like he just bailed out of the play. Referee Tony Brothers called a hand in the back on Giricek, able to convert the 3-point play.
So after a horrendous shooting half for Giricek, on the break he gets the 3-point play and cuts the lead back to 8. And another opportunity. He might get another chance.
Oh, he made a mistake by letting it bounce. You got to stab it in the air.
Turnovers both ways. Final 10 seconds.
Nice cross-court pass. No.
Buckner walked with it. So 5.5 remaining.
Not been a productive closing minute and a half for the 76ers. This is a team that has a chance to move into first place tonight.
Watson all the way against Iverson. Got a pretty good look. Didn't get the shot to drop, though. And we've hit halftime at the Pyramid. Hubie looks up at the scoreboard. It could be worse. Trailed by 13 on a couple of occasions, but closed it down to 54-46. 8-point ball game here in the first half. Overall, Memphis, had they been able to shoot a little better, rebound a little better, they would have been in even better shape. But it's a Sixers ball game right now. Let's head over to David Aldridge.
Keith, first half, how hard is it to come off a game like last night's emotional loss to come right back in here and play tonight?
It is. It's very emotional, but at the same time, sometimes it's better that you can just forget about the last night's tough loss and come back and get on the court and hopefully get a win. You know, I think our mindset in this game was good. You know, I think we have some things we need to address in the second half, but I think we're going to get it done.
What do you think you need to work on?
You know, I think that, you know, we realize they start a bigger lineup than us. You know, we want to attack the offensive glass and keep them off the boards. You know, that's what really kept them in the game.
Stromile Swift, big defensive presence in the first half. Did you anticipate that?
No, I don't think we did, and we're going to be ready for that. I think that, you know, we just need to make smarter plays, go into the basket, and be aware that he's a great shot blocker.
All right, Sixers trying to get back into the top of the Atlantic Division. Back to you, Brett.
All right, halftime. 54-46. The 1-800-CALL ATT halftime report. Stuart Scott coming up next. And they trail by 8. On the break, Gasol, Gierczak, Hubie Brown saying that's more like it, fellas. And Swift with 8 rebounds, 6 points, 6 block shots. But AI is the guy leading the way. Iverson, the leading scorer.
In this league, you can't win if you can't defend. Rebound first. And then a style. And that will take, as you know, at least a year, maybe a year and a half to get a style that everybody knows.
What do you think, Bill? Do they have a style yet in this first half tonight?
I thought I was in church this morning when we heard Hubie preaching. It was phenomenal. Their style has not been good. They have stumbled along the way. They have not had the productivity out of their scores. They have been passive at the point. And they've lost 11 in a row. A lot of work to be done here in Memphis.
And as you said, as you saw, as a franchise, to have 10-game losing streaks or more on 8 different occasions, they've gone through this before.
That is not a good stat. What's really amazing is the loyalty of the fans here.
We do have a good crowd at the Pyramid tonight. Here's Gasol outside. Buried it. He's got 10.
The problem is that if they don't win a game pretty soon, that the streak is going to get so oppressive that the other teams are going to start coming in more fired up, knowing that they don't want to be the team that loses to the Memphis Grizzlies.
Let's check in with David.
You know, guys, you talked a little bit about the Grizzlies salary cap situation. $62 million this year, $65 million next season.
Yikes.
But then they go down to $34 million because Big Country Reeves finally will come off. He's going to make $14 million next year.
That's how he's building that ranch out in Oklahoma.
That's one of the major reasons why Jerry West went with Hubie Brown, because he knows he's not going to be able to add many players the next couple of years. As you mentioned, Bill, their first-round pick all but certain to go to Detroit. These are the guys that are going to be around for the next couple of years. He did not want to wait anymore. He had to jumpstart their education process, and that's one of the main reasons he went with Hubie Brown. One thing to keep in mind, Kobe Bryant can opt out of his contract in 2004, which is just when the Grizzlies go to $34 million on the cap, guys.
So Kobe to Memphis. Is that the story, David?
Anything's possible, Bill.
Well, when Jerry West came here, now anything is possible. But Big Country, $14 million. What a great country. Wilt Chamberlain is spinning in his grave.
No doubt. Gierczak around Iverson, who took one in the chops.
He's hurt. That did not feel or sound good.
Gierczak missed outside. Van Horn snaps down the rebound.
Sad to see that Gierczak's having such a terrible night.
He really is struggling. Is that another block shot?
Why not?
I think they'll give it to him. That's 8. He already has the franchise record of 7, which he had in the first half. 8 block shots. Stromile Swift. See how he does offensively. Missed one.
Come on, throw it down, Stromile. Iverson is really working that jaw. He got chopped by Gierczak.
Yeah, Gierczak's shoulder got him. Now he tries to strip it away from behind, and it worked. And here's the outlet if he can run down the pass.
Now, now that should have been called a foul. Iverson was grabbed at half court by Jason Williams, but Allen Iverson has been getting beat up all night here. When you're a great player, you're going to get knocked down time and time again. The durability of this guy has just been remarkable, getting banged on the shoulder there. Took a elbow to the face. Elbow, shoulder didn't make any difference. It did hurt.
Williams missed another three. Van Horn all by himself for the rebound. And Iverson goes, what, sopping wet, about 160?
At the most.
Gooden trying to overplay Van Horn for the steal, and Van Horn finds himself wide open, but he missed the shot. And Gooden gets the rebound.
If I was Jerry West and Hubie Brown, I'd be concerned about the hands of Strohmeyer and Pau Gasol.
And Gasol, just a runner across the lane, didn't get called for a walk or a run, and didn't get the shot either.
Nice passing. Quiet night for Aaron McKee.
Van Horn missed the hook. Swift's got another rebound.
But Aaron is at his best when the team is struggling and behind. He's going to play a nice, quiet, complimentary game until things start looking bleak.
Bill, don't you think Gasol's really favoring that arm? He's not even using it defensively.
No.
You don't think so?
No, I think you're right.
Oh.
I don't think he has any sort of feel or touch. He's got the heavy brace on it.
He was trying to defend Van Horn down there, and he was trying to do it one-handed. Looked like a boxer that didn't have a left jab.
But just looking at him, here's a guy that seriously needs to start spending 1 hour a day in the weight room. 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the evening, 7 days a week. And within 2 months, his whole body will be completely different.
David mentioned earlier also that the fact that he's a little bit frustrated right now in the offense, I think his body language is telling us that tonight in this game. Coming up tomorrow night on TNT, our friends at TNT have Dallas and Houston for you at 7:30. Portland at Seattle is the nightcap at 10. And then Friday night, right back here on ESPN, Toronto and the same Sixers in Philly at 8. And the Clippers will be at Denver at 10:30. Here's Gierachek. Now watch. It was the elbow, not the shoulder. You're right. And got him right on the point of the jaw. That hurts. And he's been working that around to make sure he can still chew gum tomorrow. And he still drive the baseline, but he had the shot blocked.
Very difficult to have a defensive scheme, as Hubie Brown was preaching at halftime. If you give up penetration, allow a tough layup, and then let the big guy come in and finish strong at the other end. We're not talking Shaquille O'Neal here. We're not talking David Robinson. We're not talking about Vlade Divac. We're not talking about Ilgauskas from Cleveland. We're not even talking about Olowokandi.
I knew you'd get him in here sometime in the second half. Talking Todd McCulloch, and he missed both free throws, and Swift's got another rebound. Double figures in rebounds now for Strohmeyer. 8 block shots. In fact, 13 rebounds is a career high. So career high night in shot blocking and rebounds. Gooden's going to take the long ball.
Tough shot.
Gasol keeps it alive. And again, Van Horn all over him. Nice leave for Williams off the glass.
A supportive crowd that has not had a lot to cheer about.
They cut it back to 8. That gives them something to holler about a little bit here with 7 minutes left in the third quarter.
They're right there. All they have to do is make some kind of basic defensive stops. Again, give up penetration and no rotation. Nobody cutting in front of the big guy. Who's going to keep Van Horn and McCulloch off the offensive glass when Gasol and Gooden have to rotate and Strohmeyer Swift to pick up the guards man?
Person inside Swift. Strohmeyer's got 8.
And Hubie talked about chemistry. What the big guys are going to eventually do is just say, look, if you guards are going to keep allowing penetration, I'm not going to pick up your man. I'm just going to stay at home on my guy, and I'm not going to let my guy get all these dunks.
Here's a 3 outside, and Aaron McKee buries it. McKee was 7. Every time the Grizzlies make a push and get it down in that 8 range, the Sixers have had an answer. And I don't mean Iverson all the time. It's different guys. Drew Good, nice fadeaway.
Well, for Philadelphia, this is the healthiest Aaron McKee and Eric Snow have been in a long, long time. Aaron McKee had the shoulder surgery in the offseason. Quick trigger by Van Horn.
Swift with a rebound.
Give it up, Strohmeyer. Give it up, Strohmeyer.
Put it on the floor and sends it out to Gooden.
Defense by Iverson.
Williams to Person. Good look at a 3. Got it.
Wesley Person is the type of player that when he misses, you're surprised. He doesn't get the exposure, having not played on the top teams as, say, a Stojakovic or a Ray Allen, as the beautiful shooters. Reggie Miller in the league. But that guy's got an outstanding stroke.
He's got 3 field goals tonight. They're all triples. Van Horn, nice pass by Snow in the paint.
Where is the preparation on defense? If you're going to allow a guy to flash like that and get that kind of position, you're going to get killed. If they don't change that, these guys are not going to, they might not win a game the entire season.
Oh, boy. That came at 4:49, folks, if you want to write that down. Gooden's fouled by McCulloch. McCulloch picks up his second. Timeout with 4 minutes, 46 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Both teams hitting it from the outside. First, Aaron McKee drops in his first triple of the night. Then on the other end, Wesley Person had the answer, his third 3 of the night. 65.
Technology together for an easier, richer, more enjoyable life.
Stuart Scott back in the studio. Magic and Blazers, Orlando, and Sean Kemp trying to work it off the glass. Kemp gets it to go, but then Rasheed Wallace outside. Hey, Bill, you know, Rasheed, one of 14 Tar Heels in the NBA. Whoop, that was nasty. The 2-0 Tar Heels, and I did not need my calculator to count that.
What an impressive victory over the mighty and powerful Rutgers team tonight. Congratulations, Stuart.
Let's check in with David Aldridge on some Olympic updates. D.A.?
Yeah, you guys mentioned the Magic. Tracy McGrady is obviously committed to play and heads the list of guys that USA Basketball thinks are going to play. They do have the superstars this time around. Tim Duncan told me last week he watched the World Championships and was embarrassed by what he saw. Definitely wants to play. Kevin Garnett wants to play as well. And Allen Iverson, as we reported the other day, Allen Iverson wants to play as well. Talked to him before the game. He said he would love to play for Larry Brown as the Olympic coach. And as I've told you the last couple of days, Larry Brown is definitely going to be the Olympic coach, pending the final vote from USA Basketball, but it's a done deal. He's the guy.
We were kidding him about it a little bit in the locker room tonight. He was watching part of that North Carolina game, and Bill mentioned that to him. He says, hey, there's 4 guys in the running, and then just smiled. But I have never seen Allen Iverson so excited about something as talking about the Olympic dream, if you will, and saying playing with the best. And he said, I can only imagine what the practices would be like. And his eyes were wide thinking about it.
That was the story of the original Dream Team in '92. A turnover as Brian Skinner tried to do something beyond his skill level.
Here's a chance for Memphis to make a push. Swift.
Just wild shots by Strohmeyer.
He's doing everything else well, rebounding and shot blocking, but his shot selection, he's 3 out of 11.
But here's a guy who definitely could have stayed in college and done himself a lot of good by learning how to practice, learning how to develop a game, learning how to learn.
Snow, crossover dribble and bury the jumper over Williams.
They can never get it down below the 8.
Nope.
And it's always a different guy. Eric Snow, Aaron McKee, Van Horn, Iverson, when need be.
The best they could do was before that last basket. They did finally eke it down to 6 and looked like they had a chance to cut it to 4 before Swift's poor choice of shots. Gooden's is a lot better.
Larry Brown said that was the key matchup. Would they be able to defend Drew Gooden? Would Aaron McKee given up so much size in the absence of Monty Williams? Gooden has not had a strong game, not a dominant game, and either has Gasol.
But he's quietly put 15 up offensively. Drew, that is. Skinner missed a tip in. Iverson comes up with a loose ball. And now he's holding that shooting hand again. Remember, that thing was injured in the preseason, and he's trying to shake it off.
How tough is Allen Iverson? Nice passing McKee. They're playing 4 against 5.
Yeah, he's backing away. This is like power play here. Power play's going to go Memphis way, and let's see if Larry Brown's going to take him out or leave him in.
He's not taking him out.
Well, you got a timeout with 2:54. We'll keep our eye on Allen Iverson.
Lenny Courier, he'll get him better. Look for Allen Iverson to get right back into this one. Now Hubie Brown's
being Tim Duncan. You know, 16 points, 18 boards for Tim Duncan. It's just like a normal game. It's workmanlike, but 16 points, 18 boards, off the charts. Speaking of off the charts, Steven Jackson, 8 of 9 from three-land. His 8 threes, one shy of tying Chuck Person's team record. Spurs starting to pull away from the Lakers. Let's go back to Brad and Bill.
All right, Stu, speaking of Person, Wesley Person has 3 threes in this game. Allen Iverson has only 1, and he hadn't scored in this half. And this was moments ago. Remember that thumb right there that he sprained against the Clippers a couple of weeks ago. And Williams trying to get a hand on the ball, just kind of raked across the right thumb, and he kind of sent the message to the bench, I'm okay, I'm staying in. And Bill said he would, and he is.
I think he was waving the offense to the other side. So just take it to the opposite side of the court. Let me shake this one off and I'll be fine.
Gooden lost the handle. Buckner comes up with a loose ball.
But Iverson set such a standard of toughness and consistency in terms of being out on that court, much the way Stockton and Malone do. Tease him, AI.
He's going to go to the free throw line.
That he inspires the rest of his guys to get out there and play through the nagging aches and pains that every player lives with.
Guys, Allen Iverson wouldn't even let the trainer, Lenny Courier, look at his hand during the timeout. You guys didn't really think I was going to come out. As many broken bones as he plays with over his career, so no surprise there. He's back on the floor.
That was Jason Williams' 4th foul on Iverson that sent it to the line.
Imagine what his life is going to be like physically when he's 45, 55, 60. All those hard knocks. They'll be right there. 2
free throws, and then Memphis gives it right back. The last 2 opportunities now, once in the front court, once in the back court, that the Grizzlies had the ball with only a 6-point deficit, and they threw it away. Let's see if this third trip's the charm for him.
Interesting to see the controversy swirling in Philadelphia about Donovan McNabb, a football player playing with that broken leg.
What a game he had with a broken ankle. But now he's out the rest of the regular season. Showed up at the Sixers game after breaking his ankle and throwing 4 touchdown passes. That's sticking with the community. Watson got it. Maybe that's the shot they needed. As they're back to within 4. Under 2 minutes in the third quarter.
But the controversy is who has the responsibility to pull a guy out when he's limping. The player's always going to say he can go.
Yeah, Andy Reid gave him a good look 3 or 4 times and thought he was a better option than Coy Detmer.
I've come out on the short end of that one myself.
Yeah.
Oh, stick a fork in it, Lorenzen, please.
Another turnover when they had a chance to cut it to 2. Iverson, long ball. Got it.
And Hubie Brown looks at Lorenzen Wright and says, where would you like me to put the ball next? It was right in your rhythm, right in your wheelhouse.
Allen Iverson's first field goal of the second half. A killer there when Memphis was making a run, and now it's the Sixers coming back the other way.
Greg Buckner made it all happen defensively. Larry Brown knows the value of a player like Greg Buckner, but with Iverson in transition, digging it out, racing up in the delayed break, everybody backs off. Memphis has not extended their defense near far enough to contend with the great Allen Iverson.
AI's got 19. Coming around, couple picks and goes long again.
Hubie has to call a timeout. No, they're calling a delay of game here. Philadelphia touching the ball after it goes through the rim. Nobody even wants to take the ball out of bounds for the Memphis Grizzlies right now.
10-point lead when 2 Allen Iverson shots ago. It was down to 4.
It's a much easier game when your jumpers are going down. A much easier game when you've got a superstar who can bail you out of very difficult situations.
Right over Van Horn.
That is not a pretty shot.
No, it wasn't. Final 30 seconds, third quarter.
Larry Brown calling for one. The patience, the experience of this team. NBA finalist 2 years ago. Eliminated in the first round of last year's playoffs by the Celtics.
McKee got his last 3.
Wow.
That one just inside the line.
Larry Brown up off the sideline. We got a foul to give. Use it.
Watson got through some traffic going all the way, and there is the foul.
Good job by Larry Brown. We've been talking Hubie all night. Larry Brown, with the years that he's had with this team now, they understand all the signals, all the terminology that Hubie said was not fresh in his own players' minds.
Larry, who went in the Naismith Hall of Fame in late September.
Well deserved. What a special moment that was. The new building, spectacular. The ceremony, as great a one as I've ever been to.
Just over 5 seconds to go. Batiste missed the jumper, and the rebound is the 76ers, and they have rebounded from having their lead dwindled down to 4, and boy, did they bounce back courtesy of Allen Iverson. Hit a couple huge threes, and he has 22 points. 6 points this quarter, but they're the ones that were the killers for the Grizzlies. Just when they had cut it down to a 4-point difference and Iverson looked like he was injured, maybe a little possum he was playing there, because the next time he got it, goodbye from outside the arc, and then around a double pick, the pull-up over Watson, and those 2 shots killed Memphis. End of 3, Sixers 75, Grizzlies.
Jazz and Nuggets. His name is Matt. Don't call me Al Harper. Denver trying to stay close. Predrag Savovich, his first NBA game, 11 points, 4 assists already. But check out this ridiculous shot by Andre Kirilenko. You got to see it again. Nice crossover, gets fouled, throws up some junk with the left hand, and it goes in. Kirilenko is a baller. Brad and Bill.
Stuart Scott's the only guy I know who can use the word ridiculous in a positive sense.
That's right. That and sick and all those other good things. With Bill Walton and David Aldridge, we are set to start the fourth quarter. Floor cam with us here at the Pyramid. Takes a lot of measure. It's got to be perfect. Got to be perfect, because you're basically cutting up the floor.
This looks like your pregame preparation.
Yeah, right. And it's given us some great looks tonight, though.
That's incredible.
I love the spot that it's put in tonight.
Forget about the Leonid meteor shower. How about floor cam?
There was one of the blocks of Swift as he pinned it against the glass. One of 80's had tonight.
So we're combining floor cam and super slow-mo at the same time, and reverse action and above the rim.
You got it all. You got all the technology, all the terms. You know them all. It's amazing.
I'm a slow learner. I'm having trouble picking up some of these.
I think you're learning this pretty quick. The floor cam.
Batiste has not had the impact that he's had recently. As he comes right back and says, "In your face, Walton."
That stops an 8-0 run by the Sixers.
Get on the offensive glass. Make it happen. Second unit on the floor now for Hubie Brown.
See if they can turn up the intensity and maybe get a stop.
Oh, how about guarding somebody on the perimeter? That's a layup. That's a right-handed layup.
Skinner missed. Rebound. Batiste. Basket and a board.
Look at Iverson's defense.
Underneath. Can't get much better spot than that. Still missed it. Wright did. Batiste didn't. Boy, he did listen to you. He's got the last 4 points and the last rebound.
Come alive here.
75-67. Knocked out by Person right in front of us.
It was the second unit last night that was so productive up at Minneapolis. Looked like they were going to win that game, but in the end, they just could never get a single rebound. You could never stop anybody.
Buckner. Snow with 4. Buckner's a good shooter. Not that time. Airballed at Batiste. 4 points, 2 rebounds. The last 3 trips down the court now.
Battier flashing along that baseline. Earl Watson unable to find him under the defensive pressure of Iverson.
Watson got Iverson in the air but missed the shot, and now a foul as Skinner pulled down the rebound. Skinner's 10th rebound.
Jason Williams wondering when he's going to get another look. It was a year ago that. Wow.
And Memphis gets it back with 10-11 to go. You know, you can see up to 40 NBA games a week, and I'm not talking about at Walton's house. You can log on to NBA.com and sign up for NBA League Pass to get in on all the action.
We get 40 a night at our house.
You're unbelievable.
And that's not enough. I was at a sports bar here in town that did not have League Pass.
We won't name that. I know where you were.
I was stunned.
You know, maybe you can talk them into it. There's another turnover. I think you got to go to management and say, you know, where is League Pass?
I came in early so I could watch all the games last night.
Gonna have some ribs.
And all we
well, you
could
probably didn't eat ribs.
No, I like ribs. I had a nice burger and I had some chips. Where is your tattoo, by the way, anyway?
It's too late now. It's too late. You didn't want to see it, and we're under 10 minutes. It's getting interesting here.
Yeah, but the kids have gone to bed.
That's true. Iverson. Just inside the three-point line.
Oh.
24 for Allen.
Memphis can't even inbound the ball. Jerry West is going to pull his hair out.
It's Watson, Batiste, Wright, Battier, and Person on the floor right now for the Grizzlies with 9.5 to go.
They come to a dead stop so many times. Where is the fluidity?
Person got his 4th three of the night.
Now that's fluidity. Why isn't he getting more shots?
Tell you what, he's making them. 4 triples for Person. Cuts the lead back to 7. Crowd is trying to chant defense here. They're even having a hard time coming up with it.
Defense away from the ball by Earl Watson, denying Iverson. Outstanding.
Now, final 4 seconds. Now they need to stop, but they back away from Snow, and he found McCulloch. Blocked by Wright. Shot clock violation. They did get a stop. That's what they needed.
The slow delivery by Todd McCulloch has turned the Memphis Grizzlies into a shot-blocking machine. 15 blocks on the night for the Grizzlies. They're back in it, just down 7. Can Larry Brown hold them up again?
Sixers leading by 7, just under 9 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Before we went to break, McCulloch, as Bill said, slow delivery and had his shot blocked.
Block to the rim.
That doesn't count as a...
No, it's a good block. Take it to the board, take it to the rim. It's a good block.
Had it on his hand.
No, I don't think so. I think it's a good block. Yeah. All right. Good block.
Larry Brown's point is valid because the ball does hit the rim. The ball hits the rim, and he pulls it off with the block shot, which is a good legal block. But the shot clock should have reset because it makes no difference how the ball hits the rim. This was a mistake by the referees that Larry Brown tried to argue. They can't change the call. It was a 24-second violation, but with the ball hitting the rim there, the shot clock should have been reset.
Ted Bernhardt was the official that Larry was discussing it with calmly during the break.
Terrible.
Almost threw it away.
Terrible pass.
Batiste off the glass.
All the long rebounds going to Philadelphia.
David, you were around the huddle during the timeout.
Yeah, Brad, you saw what Memphis was trying to do. Hubie Brown told his players, look, don't give up on the play. Go through all the options. They got a pretty good shot from Batiste. He didn't make it, but you saw all the passing they did to make sure they got a good one coming out of the timeout.
Memphis is shooting 37%. Now, Philadelphia's defense is very good, one of the league's best at opponent's field goal percentage. Oh, how's that not a foul if Shane Battier just gets rooted out of there?
This is not going to be one that Lorenzen Wright's going to put in the family album tonight.
This is a game of men competing for the ultimate prize, and with The bodies flying around everywhere, and Shane Battier in the air, anticipating that ball coming right into his wheelhouse. All Philadelphia could do was undercut him.
Batiste almost had it swiped by Iverson, and he got the hook. He's been the man in this quarter. He's got all their field goals except Wes Person's three-pointer.
How'd the Clippers let him go?
McKee.
Every time there's always been an answer. Aaron McKee coming alive, delivering clutch baskets, contributions, always at the key times. Look at Iverson up there forcing the defense.
Watson through some traffic.
If you can score on Todd McCulloch on the drive, you can do anything.
It's like shooting over a wall. Iverson has 10 of the Sixers' last 14 points. Snow's a guy that's doing the other part of it.
I have just been appalled at the lack of perimeter defense. That's double dribble.
Another Memphis turnover.
Things falling apart for Memphis. Iverson willing to put his nose right in the thick of the fray, but Earl Watson, the great UCLA legend, a fourth-year starter at UCLA. But Eric Snow comes right back. Too easy. Where's the shot blocking presence? What are they thinking?
A 9-point game again.
Chris Webber's about to rip the rim down. I mean, not literally, but figuratively. And then watch a tiptoe. Got a tiptoe right there. All right, I got it. Elton Brand going for his 11th straight double-double. Elton 13.6 boards. And see, Bill Walton, I am enlightened enough. Ever since you and I did that tie-dye commercial, I'm enlightened enough to give a Dookie some love. Go back to you.
Well, it'll really be a remarkable day if I ever give a USC Trojan any of that love. I am so impressed with your compassion.
Allen Iverson's been the guy, as he always is. Came in averaging 28 points a game. He has 26 right now, and he's done it in a variety of different ways as we take a look at his shot chart. And I tell you what, the 2 threes that he hit in the third quarter, although they were only 2 baskets, they were the ones that really seemed to put the halt on the Grizzlies' push to try to get within a couple of points. And he hit 2 big ones in the third quarter, part of his 26. 20 field goal attempts and 26 points to show for it. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Grizzlies have had some long droughts. From the first to second quarter, they had a long drought without a field goal. They had another one in the second quarter, another in the third. In fact, if you add all their droughts up through 3 quarters, 13 minutes and 45 seconds worth of stretches, they went without hitting a field goal. You can't do that. Here's Iverson again. Got another one. Wow.
A player willing to take the toughest of shots, running away from the basket. Here's a guy who has led the league in shot attempts at up near around 28 shots per game for the last few years. He should hurt his thumb more often.
No doubt. Gooden trying to bring it inside. Gasol has had a tough night. It's not getting any easier.
Why would you play, if you're Pau Gasol, why would you play back to the basket against a bigger, slower player? Turn and face him. He'll have to back up. Then you just torch him. Kiss your little jumper off the glass. Pump fake that. Your crossover into your jump hook. It's a simple game.
11 points, very quiet for Gasol. A quiet 11, that's for sure. Averaging 18 to lead the team.
Jason Williams, a very quiet night. How many points does he have?
Williams only has 2.
Yikes.
He came in averaging 12. He's only taken 6 shots. Van Horn. Nice shot. 10 for Van Horn.
This is not looking good. Things have got to change quickly or it's going to be too late and too far behind. Problem is, right now, they've come back to their starting lineup with the exception of Person in place of Guracek, but none of these guys are playing particularly well at the moment.
And Swift trying to put it on the floor, has it stripped out of there.
Iverson's defense.
A reminder, Friday night at 7, the Owens Corning preseason NIT continues. Number 2, Kansas will take on North Carolina Greensboro. The Owens Corning preseason NIT. Friday night at 7 o'clock on ESPN2. Kansas loses a guy like Drew Gooden, and they're still with Heinrich and Collison, a great basketball team.
Well, they have a great coach.
Yes, they do. Roy
That's
Williams.
a good place to start.
That is.
How long till he's ready for the Hall of Fame?
There's Nick Collison at 20 points against Holy Cross and 8 boards.
I love the way Kansas plays. It's a skilled game. It's a game of speed and quickness. And it's not all about who can jump the highest and who can push and bang, but it's about ball movement, all the things that Hubie Brown is trying to teach to these young players.
Drew Gooden right there, one of his rookies.
You mentioned Drew Gooden as being the leading candidate for Rookie of the Year. I like Jay Williams up in Chicago right now. Drew Gooden is playing outstanding ball, but they're not near as competitive as the Chicago Bulls, and obviously they have more experienced players.
Good point.
Jalen Rose, Danielle Marshall making valuable contributions. Bill Cartwright, just a breath of fresh air. Great to see the Chicago Bulls making some progress.
Drew Gooden right now is the leading rookie scorer in the league. But as you said, there's a lot more to the game than that.
But he's going to have more opportunities than most rookies.
That's true. Van Horn's done a nice job on Gasol. Here's Gooden inside. 17 for Gooden.
Zone defense, it was so effective last night. Philadelphia shot the ball much better than Minnesota did. And they've had better ball movement.
McKee missed. Gooden trying to get the rebound and does. Both starting fives are out there with the exception of Person on the floor for the Grizzlies. That ball was tipped out of bounds.
Iverson's defense again. Jason Williams, had Gasol out in transition. But Iverson anticipated it, saw the pass, and was able to get a hand on it and stop the fast break. This guy Iverson has done everything on both ends. Playing hurt.
Playing a lot of minutes.
Had a huge game last night and comes right back out.
38 last night in a losing effort. Here's Williams. He's still trying to find it. And he goes down and grabs his ankle.
Take a foul here.
I don't know if he came down on somebody else's foot after the shot or just landed funny after launching that long jumper. And Larry Brown's the first guy out there to try to help the cause. With 4 minutes left in the ball game on a tough night for Jason Williams. Just got tougher.
You just hate to see this. Guy's trying so hard. The defender steps underneath.
Yep, he landed on Snow's foot and it just turned out big time.
Ouch.
He's up and hobbling off. With 4 minutes left in the ball game. Sixers by 10.
Best dunk of the night, Big Ben, the best performance of the night. 7th triple-double in the NBA this year. 2nd of his career, 12 points, 19 boards. That ridiculous dunk and 10 block shots. Brad and Bill, back to you.
How could you have the best dunk of the night if Desmond Mason is not playing?
Well, the worst ankle of the night's probably Jason Williams. He's heading to the Grizzlies locker room and got about halfway there and said, fellas, I need a little help.
Well, we're going to have to get David Aldridge on that story immediately. That does not look good. He was walking better and better as he left the court.
And then as he got to the tunnel near the dressing room, as you saw, that was it.
10 points down, under 4 minutes. It's got to happen right now.
Gasol tried an up and under on the baseline and had it knocked out of bounds.
We have seen so many inadequate deliveries at the basket tonight. They talk about the vanishing center. Where are the moves? Where are the crossovers? Where are the change of pace, change of direction?
Coleman comes out to get Gasol. He crosses the lane and drew a foul.
Hubie Brown trying to keep it positive, trying to keep the guy's spirit up. Once that losing mentality sets in, you can't break it. The best guy I've seen in the league in my 29 years now has been Pat Riley. What he did with the New York Knicks when he took them over in the early 90s, then down to Miami, doing the same thing.
Well, when Hubie first went to the Knicks, he pretty much cleaned house in the first year and a half and got them to the playoffs. But this is 16 years later, and he's 16 years older, and that doesn't mean he doesn't still very much know how to coach, but he needs his team to step up. He can't stand out there and take a charge or cut somebody off in the lane. There's just not enough defense, and you heard him earlier when Bill talked to him in the locker room. That's one of the things, said rebounding and defense, and they haven't done enough of either tonight.
Oh, terrible.
Oh boy, not a move. Iverson, reverse layup. Allen's got 31.
Allen Iverson went by Pau Gasol like he was the statue of Ramses out in front of the pyramid here on the banks of the Mississippi.
I think I jogged by that today.
Oh, you can still jog?
Well, jog is about it. It's not running anymore. Here's the outlet after the turnover. Iverson leaves it for Snow.
Nice, nice. This has been an Allen Iverson virtuoso performance. This has been Elvis Presley. This has been B.B. King.
Elvis is in the building and he's wearing a headband.
Again.
Here he comes again. Didn't get that one.
I thought a slap of the board was a goaltending violation.
Watch this move on the baseline. Goodbye.
Nice lateral mobility by Pau Gasol.
Wow.
The floor cam. How many players does he blast by here?
Look at that. That's nice. I like that. That's our best look. That's our best look from floor cam. We saw Iverson in flight. We saw Gasol's shoe land right on top of it. Back at the pyramid, the 76ers appear to have it in control, 92-80 with 2:29 left in the ballgame.
And a hearty ESPN welcome to our good friend Jonathan Holloway, who sits right in the front row, comes to every game, loves to get into it with the refs and the teams, other stars. This guy is just a magnificent NBA fan. And Jonathan, great to see you.
I like Jonathan already with a Mike Vick jersey. He's not wearing Tennessee Titan colors. Let's check in with David, see if he's got anything on Jason Williams. D.A.?
Guys, Jason Williams has a sprained right foot. He obviously suffered when he came down shooting the jumper. Will not be back tonight, and we'll have x-rays tomorrow to see how severe it is.
Oh boy, I hope it's just a turned ankle or a sprain. That's going to put a lot of pressure on Earl Watson, that's for sure. And they're going to have to get Brevin Knight back in a hurry if Williams is hurt to any degree.
Beautiful passing by Iverson.
Coleman rimmed out at 3. Swift with another rebound.
Did Swift ever get his triple-double?
He's got 16 boards, and he has 8 points, and I think he's got 8 blocks. Well, he's got his 10 points. Now he needs a couple block shots.
Well, if the guards keep playing defense the way they have all night,
he'll get a lot of chances, won't he? Somebody's got to help out.
Philly has exploited this zone much better than Minnesota did. They've had better ball movement. Oh, a 3-second violation. Call.
Allen Iverson has 4 threes on the night. Out of 6. Remember how badly he started the season. Went 0 for what? 0 for 12 before he hit one?
He was 1 for 17 at one stretch. He's never been a noted three-point shooter.
There's Swift's got 2 more.
Throw it down, Strohmeyer.
12 points, 16 boards, 8 blocks. Not a bad night, but some of his shot selection, in the ball game earlier was not the greatest.
Left a lot to be desired.
We approach a minute, 8-point ball game.
Aaron McKee and Eric Snow have been terrific, as they always are when they're healthy.
Iverson from Beale Street.
What a pass.
Yeah, what a pass. Van Horn missed. And now Hubie's pleading for his team to come up with a ball, and they finally did.
What a touch pass by Eric Snow. Look at the transition defense by the Three Musketeers.
They need this three. Didn't get it, though. Gooden keeps it alive. And Drew knocks it down. He's got 19. And they're back to within 6, but time is running out. 40 seconds left.
They have to have a stop right here.
And Hubie trying to coach him on defense here in the final 25 seconds, pleading with him to come up with something.
The worst of all possible worlds. A 24-second, a reset to 14 because of the kicked ball. Now they have to foul. And Hubie Brown's going to take a timeout and discuss the game-closing strategy with his new team.
We'll take a timeout too. 23.9 remaining in the ball game. Philadelphia trying to win on the road, looking for their 8th victory this season. Sports Center indeed is next. 23.9 seconds from now. 6-point ball game. The 76ers have led pretty much throughout. One time the Grizzlies led by 2 points. That was in the first half. And then from a 54-46 halftime advantage, at one point the Grizzlies got it to within 4 points, and it looked like Allen Iverson was injured as Jason Williams raked him across that right thumb. And all he did then is take the Grizzlies and turn it into his ball game.
Turning adversity into an opportunity. The thumb gets yanked back.
Right there, it's a 4-point game. Now it's a 7-point game. And now it's a 10-point game. And so on, and so on, and so on.
Tease him, Allen.
15 points for Iverson in the final 13 minutes of the ball game. And timeout taken by the Sixers.
Iverson, who's led the league in scoring so many times now in the last 3 or 4 years, averaging over 31 points a game the last 2 years. This year down to 27 points. Now it's early, so this is the type of game that can get him going. He gets on a big run like the run that Tracy McGrady is on right now. Six straight games over 30 points. Tracy having 41 last night at Seattle. That was an impressive victory.
Friday night at 7. Another reminder, the Owens Corning preseason NIT continues on ESPN2. Roy Williams takes his number 2 Jayhawks to take on North Carolina Greensboro. The Owens Corning preseason NIT. Kansas beat Holy Cross 81-57. North Carolina Greensboro down Wagner 84-65. So those two get together in the second round actions. ESPN2 at 7 o'clock. Let's check in with David Aldridge. D.A.
Guys, we've talked all night about Hubie Brown being 69 years old and being one of the oldest coaches in the history of this league. But keep in mind, other guys have done this before, most notably Dick Vermeil, who was in the booth for 14 years as an analyst for ABC before joining the St. Louis Rams in 1996. 3 years later, he won the Super Bowl. Talked to Vermeil on the phone the other day. He said one of the main things that you have to do, one of the main things he had to adjust was delegating to other people. He gave up the offensive responsibilities to Mike Martz, just concentrated on the defense. The other thing he said is he takes naps now during the afternoon. He can't work those 80-hour weeks like he used to, so when he has a minute, he takes a quick 30-minute nap. Back to you.
I tried to do that today, and some radio station found me. You know, I got to take the phone off the hook like you do.
You haven't learned to do that yet?
No, I'm learning.
Well, this is your first year in the NBA.
Well, I've been in a lot of hotels. Trust me, I'm learning.
Everybody in the NBA sleeps in the afternoon.
Foul on Watson. And 20 seconds remaining.
You reach guys in this league early in the morning and really late at night.
There's the numbers on Allen Iverson. 31. 4 3-pointers. As Bill said, he's led the league back-to-back years and 3 of the last 4 in scoring. So he adds to his 38 he had last night.
There's the assistant coaches. Lionel Hollins on our right.
Tony Baroni, and you mentioned Hubie's son.
Brendan telling his dad, Hubie, we're going to win someday.
It's not going to be tonight, apparently. Going to drop to 0-12. This isn't the longest streak yet to start a season. That is 17 games, as Gooden has had a 21-point night.
They've got a foul. Well, they've got a foul. Why do they wait so long? What are they thinking?
Story of the night, you never quite know what they're thinking. And the other story of the night, they can't get over that 6-point hump, and that's probably about the way it's going to end. 7 seconds remaining, 94-88. Aaron McKee, a nice, solid 11-point night, but that really doesn't tell you what he gives this team.
Gives them stability, gives them leadership, gives them toughness, gives them clutch play, and an ego that never gets in the way.
Missed 34 games last year, and Bill said earlier, as healthy as he's been in a long, long time, and former 6th man of the year just a couple of seasons ago.
Never discount the impact of college coaches, and look who these guys have had.
John Chaney,
John Chaney, Rick Majerus for Van Horn, John Thomas for Allen Iverson.
That's it. Sixers win on the road. And the Grizzlies are still looking for that elusive first victory. Hubie Brown heads to the locker room 0-4 in his coaching reign. Larry Brown 8-4 on the season with the win tonight. It was Allen Iverson night again. After 38 last night, he goes for 33 tonight. Final score 95-88. Coming up next, Sports Center on deck. That's going to do it from the Pyramid in Memphis. For Bill Walton and David Aldridge, I'm Brad Nessler saying so long.